Hello there, my name is Adam Barron and it's great to be talking to you on Tales on Moon Lane TV here in my very untidy office, as you can see. And I am a children's writer, but I wasn't always a children's writer. I've written 5 novels for adults. And when I was launching this book, Blackheath, which is a literary novel for adults with adult themes, my 3 children came along to the launch and got very cross because they couldn't read the book that I'd just written, and they demanded that I write them a novel. And the result of it is here. It's Boy Under Water, which was my first children's novel, and many of you will have read this, and I thought that I'd be just writing one children's novel to shut my children up. But lo and behold, this character here, Cymbeline Igloo, who you can see there, he has taken over my life. I cannot get him out of my head, and I don't mind because I love him. Now, when I was writing the book Cymbeline has about Cymbeline, he has a best friend called Veronique, and I got very interested in Veronique and her story, so I wrote You Won't Believe This. And this book came out last year. Both these novels are published by HarperCollins, by the way. And most excitingly for me, I have just finished my 3rd children's book, and it's just come out in January 2021. When I am, that's where I am now, and it's called This Wonderful Thing, and here it is. And it's also about Cymbeline Igloo, but it is about a whole new family too, and the inspiration for this book started all the way back in Boy Under Water, because at the end of Boy Under Water, you may know or you may not know, Cymbeline loses something, and a friend of mine, Kate Higgins, said to me, no, I can't believe he's lost that. I refuse to believe it. And I suddenly realized that perhaps he hasn't lost it forever after all, and that is where the inspiration for This Wonderful Thing came from. And it features Cymbeline and his family, and Cymbeline's having a really bad time. His dad was supposed to take him to Barcelona for the weekend, but when Friday came, Cymbeline's been waiting all week. His dad didn't show up at school to pick him up, and when his mum came to pick him up, he's very upset. He went home to find that not only has his house been burgled and broken into, but that his mum is moving her fiance Stefan and his 2 daughters into their house to come and live with Cymbeline. So Cymbeline's life has just exploded. Meanwhile, in Brighton, which is on the south coast of England, there lives a family who are also having a hard time. Jessica and her sister Millie and baby brother Benji have a dad who's not very well, and he's ill, and he's had to give up his job, which means that their mum, who's a nurse, is having to work super hard, and they've had no treats. They're retrenching, saving all their money, but on a rare day out to the coast, to this beautiful place called Cookmere Haven that I know very well, they find something in the river. They find a smelly, dirty, mangy old teddy bear. When they get it home and wash it up, they realise that it is the fluffiest, most wonderful thing in the entire world, and you can see it there in the wonderful illustrations for This Wonderful Thing by Benji Davis. Now, the book is about families. It's about the shapes, the many shapes that families can take, and it's about the trials and tribulations that families can go to, and about the fact that families don't have to look the same. They can take any shape they want as long as the people inside them care for each other. So what I thought I'd do, without further ado, is read you a section of This Wonderful Thing. And I think what I'll do is I'll start at the very beginning. And I'm just looking around for my reading glasses, which I need to read. There you go. And I'll put these on. So this is Chapter 1, This Wonderful Thing by me, Adam Barron, published by HarperCollins, January 2021. Chapter 1, Jessica. Here's something that will make you laugh. Yesterday, we went to this place called Cookmere Haven. Mum, Dad, Millie, Benji and me. And we played pooh-sticks. What? Not clutching your sides, not rolling around in the floor in fits of giggles. Well, get this. We played pooh-sticks with real poo. We did. Honest. The poo belonged to Benji, who suddenly needed one. Dad had left his potty in the car, so Mum pulled his shorts down by this big stream. Once Benji had done it, the poo rolled down between his trainers, bounced down the bank and jumped into the water. It sank, came up and swirled round to the middle, which would have been quite funny on its own. But Millie had an idea, something I have to admit, because she's bigger than me, and if I take the credit, she'll hit me. Me not knowing what she was doing, she grabbed a stick from behind a bush, and I stared at her as she lobbed it in. "Pooh-sticks!" she bellowed. "Pooh-sticks! We're playing pooh-sticks with poo!" "And sticks!" I shouted as I grabbed one too and bunged it in after. "We're playing pooh-sticks with poo and sticks!" And we weren't the only ones. Mum said girls and stop that, but Dad clearly didn't think that girls applied to him. He grabbed a stick and chucked it in as well, leaving Mum to tut and wipe Benji's bum as the three sticks and poo began to move. Now, we'd done what most people do when they're playing pooh-sticks. Cheat. Millie had thrown her stick in front of the poo, I'd thrown my stick in front of hers, and Dad had thrown his in front of mine. But it did not matter. While our sticks turned in circles or got snagged on weeds and reeds, the little brown ball from Benji's bottom overtook them all. "Pooh!" Millie shouted, jumping up and down on the bank, "is really good at pooh-sticks." "Not all poo, I shouldn't think," Dad said. "Good job it wasn't a sticky poo. And if you're not laughing now, forget it." Well, Benji wanted to know what the fuss was about, so once he was bum-wiped and dressed, Dad hoisted him onto his shoulders. We all ran along the bank, Mum still not that amused as Millie and I shouted, "Go sticks!" while Dad and Benji shouted, "Go poo!" and some bird watchers looked on in shock. Mum was even more embarrassed when all the sticks got jammed up on some stones and Millie, who had Crocs on, ran into the stream. "What are you doing?" Mum yelled. Millie had pulled her dress up and was holding it in place with her chin. "I can't let him win," Millie said. She's super competitive. "Sticks are useless." But Mum bellowed so loud that Millie got out without doing her own poo, and we had to watch Benji triumph. Our sticks soon far behind as the poo, almost as if it knew it was in a race, hurried on. It swept beneath a footbridge. It wobbled past a few ducks which some other bird watchers were looking at. It began to go so fast that we could hardly keep level. Benji almost hoarse from shouting and Dad panting to keep up with Millie and me. Then the stream got wider. There was a beach up ahead. The water was shallower and the poo began to skip, hopping out of the water as it leapt over little stones and round small boulders. It was hard to see, then more so as the sun burst out and made the water all sparkly. "We're going to lose the poo!" Millie shouted, urging me to go faster. We stumbled on, thinking it was gone forever, until Millie caught sight of it. She pulled me by the arm and we sped up, just in time to see the poo roll out of the stream and onto the beach in front of us. We stared down at the poo in awe and respect. It didn't even look tired. "Whew, Olympic standard," Dad said, puffing to a halt beside us, then coughing. He's been having some problems with his fitness recently. "Olympic standard poo." "Let's do it again," Millie said. "Let's go back. Only the poo belongs to me this time." "You pick it up then," I said, and because Millie wants to win something so much, I swear she would have. But Mum arrived really cross now, hissing at Dad about being poorly recently and how he wasn't supposed to run as she scrambled around in her backpack. She pulled out a nappy bag, scooped the poo up and marched off towards a bin. Millie sighed and I was disappointed too, turning back to see if any of the sticks had made it that far. Maybe I'd come second, or first poo stick made of stick, not poo. When Millie realised what I was looking for, though, she spun round too, both of us shielding our eyes until the sun went in. Which is when I saw it. In the water. My eyes just settled on it and I stared, blinking, sort of calm inside, as if for some reason it had wanted me to find it. Not a stick or another poo. No. I saw the thing that would change our lives forever. So that is the opening to my book, my new book, This Wonderful Thing. And you can get it through Tales on Moon Lane. That's where you should get it. And I hope you like that extract, and I hope that draws you into the story. There are funny bits like that, but it's also a serious story. And as I say, it's about families and the difficult things they have to go through. And the two stories sit side by side until they join at the end, and Jessica and Cymbeline finally get to meet each other. So that's This Wonderful Thing. Now, I was asked to set you a little creative writing challenge, so I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to tell you a bit of a strange secret about writers, or at least this one. Cymbeline appears in all three of my books for children to date. Okay, there he is on the front cover of Boy Underwater, and I love Cymbeline. He's brilliant. I warm to him. He sits inside of me, and I love exploring the world through his eyes. But at the beginning of every book, every story, something really terrible happens to him. So this is what writers do. They create characters who they really, really engage with and make dreadful things happen. So here's my creative writing challenge to you. Just as I've done in This Wonderful Thing, I want you to come up with a character, maybe someone you're familiar with, someone you really, really like, someone who's brilliant. It could be your favourite teacher. It could be your best friend, one of your family members, your little brother. I want you to think about that character and then think about what is the absolutely worst thing that could possibly happen to them, and begin a story from there. Because in all of these books that I've written for children, the terrible thing that happens to children at the beginning turns out to actually be a fantastic thing after all. So that's me. Really nice to talk to you on Tales on Moon Lane TV, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it made you think about checking out This Wonderful Thing. Take care.